Hello, how are you doing, friends? In today's video, let us talk about the visa bulletin. What is the visa bulletin and why is it important that you understand the visa bulletin as a DV lottery winner? Why is it important to you? The visa bulletin is the news or is the information or a place where the Department of State will communicate its progress in the processing of the case numbers or of the cases. The visa bulletin will announce all the progression of cases from the various areas. So it will cover the family-based visas progression, it will cover the employment-based visa progression, and it will also cover the diversity visa lottery cases progression. So it is not only based on the diversity visa lottery, but in this video, I'll focus on the diversity visa cases progression as handled in the visa bulletin. We know that there are as many as 55,000 visas available for the diversity visa lottery process. And all of these visas are not processed within the same day. They are spread out throughout the 12-month period, that is from the 1st of October of every year to the 30th of September of the following year. So these visas by the diversity lottery will be spread out through the 12 months period. The visa bulletin basically announces the availability of visas up to a certain number every month, and this will proceed up to the last month of that fiscal year, and also it will proceed until all the visas are issued. The visa bulletins will be named by the name of the month. For example, you'll hear of the visa bulletin for the month of May, or the visa bulletin for the month of June, and so on and so forth. Now let's understand how the visa bulletin are named. For example, the visa bulletin for the month of June will have been posted or announced during the month of May, beginning date 8th up to date 15th. And it will contain of the visas available or the cases that will be processed for the month of July. A bit confusing, but let me repeat. The visa bulletin that will be called the visa bulletin for the month of June will be announced a month earlier, that is in the month of May, anytime between date 8th and date 15th of May. And inside that visa bulletin for June, there will be cases that will be processed in the month of July. Put in mind that in this video, I'm discussing on the diversity visa lottery part of the bulletin, and the number that will be mentioned in the bulletin per region indicates that all the cases under that number will be processed. This means, for example, if the visa bulletin has indicated 10,000 for Africa, it means that cases up to 9,999 will be processed. So those with case numbers below 10,000 in Africa will be processed. In the bulletin, in a certain region, for example, Africa, you'll find some countries being exempted. For example, you'll see that the cutoff number for Africa is 10,000, except for Egypt, which is up to 6,000. What this means is that in Africa, there are countries that have many entries, and you'll find that they will have many selectees. So they are limited in such cases to prevent having many cases processed for Egypt than other countries within Africa. So it is meant to cut off those countries that have very many selectees, to give a chance for those countries with fewer selectees. You'll sometimes find that in a certain visa bulletin, the word current will be used. It will indicate the word current. What this means is that any case number within that DV lottery year can be called for the interview. So even if you have a higher case number or you have a low case number, then you can be called for interview regardless of the case number that you have. So guys, let us look at an example. And here we've got the visa bulletin page of the Department of State, and as we can see, it is currently indicating the visa bulletin for the month of June, and another one coming soon over here. So when you scroll down, you'll find the list of the bulletins that occurred previously, and here is for the year 2022. Let's see all the visa bulletins, and all these visa bulletins happened this year, and now we are in the visa bulletin for the month of June. Let's take a look at one example. For example, the month of May. As you go through the visa bulletin page for the month, in this case the month of May, you'll find some very lengthy information here which you can pretty much ignore and go down to the diversity visa bulletin. As I had earlier told you, we are covering this video. So but before that, you see we have visa announcement for family-based visas. Here we have for employment-based visas, and down here when you scroll down, you come to the diversity immigrant category, and this is what we are interested in. And when you come down to this table, you'll see that we have regions against the current cutoff number with some exception. So what this means in this case, that for region Africa, for the month of May, up to case number 63,800 were current, with the exception of Egypt, meaning for Egypt it is only up to 13,000. And I had explained earlier that the reason is because you found out that there were many entries here, many selectees here, and to cater for all the other countries in Africa, they had to put a cap on Egypt. For example, for Asia, we have 30,000 for the month of May, the year 2022, and with the exception of Iran and Nepal, and so on and so forth. So this is the visa bulletin for the month of May. So any individual with a case number below 63,800 by the end of May, they are eligible to be scheduled for the interview at any time. So they can be called for the interview at any time. If your case number is below this number here, or this number, or this, or this, if you come to this from these various regions, then your interview can be scheduled at any time. So let's take a look at the current visa bulletin, which is the visa bulletin for June. And this is interesting, as we shall see. Let's go down to the diversity immigrant part here. And interestingly, you see that in almost all regions except the North America, it is indicated as current. And as I had earlier explained, current means that anyone within the DV lottery fiscal year can be called for the interview. Their interview can be scheduled. So for the DV lottery selectees of the year 2022, in the month of June's bulletin, all cases are current for all these regions except North America. And what this means is that any person can be called for the interview. So if you are there and you are a selectee in the DV Lottery 2022, you can be scheduled for the interview at any time. So you better be ready. And also this means that the KCC have enough visas for all the selectees in this period. But if you have not submitted your DS260, then you can be skipped. So ensure that your DS260 is already submitted for you to get a chance to be scheduled for the interview. You can see even for the month of July, all the cases are current. So guys, if you are a selectee in the DV Lottery 2022, know that you can be called for an interview any moment. So why is it important that you understand the bulletins? This is because it will enable you to prepare in advance when your case number has been reached. When you visit the department's website and you find the bulletin saying that the cutoff is 23,000, it means if you have any case lower than that, then you got to prepare yourself. And with that, I come to the end of this video. I hope it was very informative. Please subscribe to the channel if you're a new visitor, and if you're a returning visitor, I appreciate it. Like the video and share it out. Let's meet in the next video.